Hello. Hi, how are you guys doing? I got my messy bun going on today. I really wanted to record this video. Um, and it's kind of just what my, during my prayer time, what I really feel like has been put on me. Um, and it was really bad. There are a lot of people that are just hurting, right? And myself included. Like, we all have experiences that we've gone through, that we are dealing with, right? And we're really trying to heal from them. And what does that healing look like, right? What does that healing process look like? And I think that's a big thing. A lot of people may not even really know how to heal themselves. They don't know what to do, or they don't know who to turn to. And, I really pray that the Holy Spirit just kind of really speak through me, because I feel like this is something that it just came to me. I was praying about my business, and it was just like, people are hurting, people may see something, but they may be scared, right? Or people may feel something, but because of whatever they've been through, it's hard for them, right? It's hard for people to let go. It's hard for people to move forward, move on. And like I said, I'm included, because there are things that, sometimes we kind of like just block out, and we try to just forget. And it doesn't mean anything. Like, if you just block it, it doesn't really mean that it's no longer there, because something can trigger it. Something can cause that to come back to your mind. And so healing is really so major. It's really something that we can't do on our own. It's something that we have to give up. Like, we have to give it over to the Lord. Like, we have to pray about it. We have to really be still with Him and be alone with Him, right? And spend quality time with Him, so that we can really learn His love. We can really learn how it feels to be loved, and how He shows us that He loves us. And He does, right? Because a lot of times we can turn to other things, right? Vices. We can turn to things that are just like fillers, right? They're not really permanent fixes. They're just like a patch. And when we really sit with God and we really allow Him to work on us, it's like He's uprooting stuff. He's uprooting, and he's really fixing stuff, and He's really He's taking it away, but He's putting in good. So when I say, like, He really shows you how He loves, like, He really does, and I can speak from personal experiences, things that I've been able to do by myself that I wasn't able to do before. And so you have to always be, aware, right? Aware of even where you are, just in your life, and be real with yourself, right? Because it's like, what does it serve you to lie to yourself? What does it serve you to kind of like seem as like, or to act as if nothing's really wrong, right? I mean, I know we do that with a lot of people, right? We may not tell people the full story. We not share all our personal details with other people. But when it comes to talking to God, like, what can you really hide from God? Where can you hide from God? You can't. I remember, like, specifically being in the midst of sin and speaking to God, like, God, I'm so sorry. Like, oh my gosh, Lord, please just forgive me one more time, right? And we always say that one more time, but it doesn't end up being that one more time. So it's like we're lying to ourselves, because we're not lying to God, because God already knows, like, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes we grapple onto something and we fix our mind on things that aren't healthy for us, That's not good. And all the while, God is just trying to protect us. God is like, don't listen. That's not going to do it. That's not going to get you it. That's not going to satisfy you. That's not going to fulfill you. Those things are empty. You know what I mean? Like, it literally just gave me the thought of food, right? Like, I promise you, I'm a hungry person, but I'm not hungry like that. But, you know, like, there are things that we can eat that are good quality, that's going to nourish our bodies. And then there's things that we can eat that are like sweets and sugars that are empty calories, that they don't sustain us. They don't replenish us in any way. They don't even fill us, right? And even if we are full, we're full for a moment, and it's a brief moment. And then our desire is higher because now we want more. And so now that's why you see people that are like overindulging, because one, they're indulging in the wrong thing, right? The wrong source. The source that we should be indulging on is not the source that we're turning to. And a lot of times God wants us to turn to him first. He wants to spend quality time with us, right? He wants to be, the problem solver. He wants us to turn to him. And a lot of times we're turning to people that have their own issues, that have their own problems, that can't really help you, that may not even really want to see you do good. It's just a lot, right? And so you have to be very mindful of all of these things, right? I think that it's an internal work that we have to realize, right? We have to get so bare and so still that we start to realize what we are able to do with what we have, right? Like, and I mean in a sense, like, if we have like next to nothing, right? Because we don't need much to really be satisfied, right? Having beautiful houses and beautiful cars and having lots of money and all that stuff is great, right? But if you don't have it, are you content? Are you happy in yourself, right? Can you sit by yourself? Or do you feel like lonely and neglected? So it's all those things, because if you really know that God is with you, you wouldn't really feel lonely. You wouldn't feel neglected. You wouldn't feel shunned. You wouldn't feel rejected, because he's with us. He's always present, right? Ever present. And he's omnipresent. That means he's everywhere. So that's why I'm like, where can we hide from God? We can't hide from God. And so, I think that when we really spend time just with ourselves, right? And then we learn to love ourselves, and we learn who we really are, right? We learn what makes us special, what makes us unique. And when we really speak to God and then listen and allow him to speak to us, then we can really have that healing kind of start to take place. And then good people that you can seek are leaders in your community, in your church, and even like family members that have shown wisdom, that the lifestyle that they're living is an example, right? Because that's a really big thing. I think that the example that people set, and sometimes it can be a facade too, which is really kind of like, man. But then we do have people that are struggling to live right, to do right, to be right, and that is not a facade. And it's not a facade, and it's not easy, right? Because I can speak to that, because I feel sometimes extra challenged just because I'm trying to do the right thing, and I've had people tell me like, well, if I'm trying to do the right thing, why are so many things going wrong? And it's like, because you're doing the right thing. It's easy when you're doing the wrong thing. It's really easy. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's thrilling, but it's not, there's no longevity in it, right? There's nothing lasting about something that you're doing. Anything that's harmful for you, anything that's harmful to you is not healthy. And so, doing good things are hard. Working out, it's not easy. Studying is not easy. Like running your own, it's not easy. Things that are worthwhile are not easy. they're more complicated. They require more effort. They require more time. They require more attention to detail. They require more. And so, you know, I had to get to the point where I was like, okay, this test is for a reason, right? Like when we sit here and we say that, you know, people may mean things for our harm, but God means it for our good. It's like, okay, well, I'm being tested right now. And so since I'm being tested, it must mean that I have the preparation to be able to deal with it. And so now I just have to be strong and remember what I've learned, what God has shown me, what, you know, like the things that I've been studying and apply it to life, right? Because a lot of times we say what we want, but then we don't really act on what we want, right? Like I was talking about that with our friends, and I was, you know, and my friend and I was saying, you know what? We have not because we ask not, right? If we want peace, it's so amazing. I remember when I was younger, a pastor was like, be careful what you pray for, because you're going to get it, but you're not going to get it in the way that you think, right? And it's like, you know, you may ask for peace, and when you ask for peace, your life can start going in a whirlwind, right? But it's for you to seek peace. It's for you to be able to sit and be peaceful, right? Like if I'm asking for patience, then I am going to be given an opportunity to show patience. If I ask for money, then I'm going to be given an opportunity to make money. And that's the thing. A lot of times we ask God for stuff, and then when he presents it to us, because it's not in the packaging that we were expecting it to come, we dismiss it and we just completely reject it. And we like, no, that's not what I asked for. Or we get overwhelmed by a situation, or we just completely like, nope, that's not it. Like and then we're like, Lord, I prayed for help, and you sent me more trouble. I prayed for, you know what I mean? So, but that's how it seems a lot of times. But we have to be persistent in prayer, and we have to continually pray, and then we have to walk it out in faith. And so when we sit here and we're asking the Lord for help, you know, there are some times when it's just like, we know what to do. We know what to do, and it's just that we're not doing it. But we're still praying and asking God for him to do something. And he's like, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. There are things that we have the ability to do or stop doing. And a lot of times it's stop doing that we don't. And so in turn, what we do is we hurt ourselves. And we allow ourselves, and we subject ourselves to unnecessary pain. And that's what God tries to protect us from. A lot of times God tries to protect us from ourselves, because we have become so accustomed to dysfunction that we rather stay. We rather stay sometimes in dysfunction than to actually get out of it. And so, a lot of people are hurting. But we need to sit still with God and allow him to love us and show us what real love is like.